Since embarking on a solo directing career, Ethan Coen has now directed 2 feature films from a screenplay he has co-written with his partner Trisha Cook. Both Driveway Dolls and this newest film, Honey Don't, appear to have a common theme involving lesbian protagonists who come across an odd assortment of characters while trying to figure out an unusual mystery. That first film was an amusing, breezy little comedy, but Honey Don't does not quite reach its full potential. While it's reasonably interesting enough through its runtime, there are too many dangling plot threads, and things start to fall apart more as additional subplots are added on and barely explored. Most of the focus is on Margaret Qualley's private investigator, Honey, and she has her occasional moments. Much like she did in Driveway Dolls, she gets into the right rhythm of her performance and has fun with her southern accent. There are other amusing elements to her character too, like her refusal to use modern technology. The standout of the cast is Chris Evans as the leader of a religious cult. Evans has often been good at playing villainous roles, and this gives him yet another opportunity to portray a truly terrible person. However, like a lot of Honey Don't, the character ends up feeling undercooked and is not as fully realized as he could have been. In typical Coen brother fashion, the script is filled with some oddball scenes that do provoke some kind of reaction. Those inspired moments bring a bit of intrigue to the story, and there are a couple of laughs to be had. However, there are so many storylines thrown in during the film's short runtime, and many of these plot threads don't amount to much and don't reach a satisfying conclusion. The mystery at the center of the plot does not develop into an interesting one, and a lot of the characters feel one note. The film especially wastes Charlie Day, who feels like an appropriate fit to be in a movie by one of the Coen brothers, but his character's main purpose just seems to be trying to ask Honey out on dates and to make other remarks at her. The other characters whose arcs also end abruptly, and there's a feeling of that's it, after we never see them again, and especially once the end credits roll. One wonders if maybe a lot of scenes were left on the cutting room floor. The story, or rather stories, just don't develop, and even the initial setup is not one that provides that much intrigue about what might follow. Even an underwhelming Coen film, of which there are impressively few, has its enjoyable moments, and that includes Honey Don't. There are some fun ideas and solid jokes sprinkled in here, and even some of the surprises associated with these films. And you could argue the overarching mystery is not as important as the bizarre characters and unusual scenarios Honey comes across. After all, that's part of what makes The Big Lebowski such a classic. However, there's this feeling of wanting something more to happen with the events, and the lack of resolution from the many subplots results in just a shrug.